Today we're going to show you how to fit and remove a rear wheel. Okay, first of all what you need to do is make sure that you're in the lowest gear at the back. So we're halfway up now, we want to be in the very bottom. To do that you need to shift down on your right hand shifter, then lift the back wheel up and pedal so it will go into the very bottom gear like so, using your brake to stop the wheel. Next step, what we need to do is we need to release the rear brake so we can then the wheel will then come out from between the brake pads. To do so, you will need to then squeeze the V-brake together, like so. Pull out the cable from in the middle of there and release. And that will allow your wheel to come out freely once we undo the quick release, which I'll show you how to shortly. Next step would be is to flip the bike upside down, so like so. A little handy tip as well is, when you're flipping the bike upside down, just be careful that you don't scratch any of your shifters or your levers. If you want to put a bit of packaging down underneath it, or if you're out on the trail, your gloves or a spare clothing that you're not wearing at the moment, just pop that underneath the handlebars to save scratching anything. Okay, what we're going to do then is we're going to move around the other side of the bike and we'll show you how to get the wheel out. We need to then come to the non-drive side, and you'll have a lever here. What you need to do then is you need to open that up like so, then come to the drive side and you will see just by the rear derailleur there's like a little nut. What you need to do is keep hold of that with your one hand and back off, going anti-clockwise with the quick release lever on the non-drive side. Once you've done that, you'll then find that your quick release will be able to move freely in the frame. Next step is to remove the wheel. But how to do that with the derailleur in the way is, don't be scared that it won't come off with the wheel. The derailleur is attached to the frame, so what you need to do is you need to get your hand and push the derailleur like so, and then the wheel will then lift up and out like so, flicking your chain off. One rear wheel removed. Now to install the rear wheel back into the bike, you need to do the same procedure but in reverse, and which I'll show you now how to now. So we've got one wheel, got one bike. What we then need to do is we'll need to lift the rear derailleur up using one of your fingers. Just move the chain out of the way and locate the cassette onto the chain into the last gear like we did before we took the wheel out. Then what you need to do then is locate it into the dropouts like so, which is here and here. Once you've done that, you should be able to, the wheel should sit in the frame straight without anything holding it on, with it under its own weight of the wheel. Then what we need to next do then, make sure is all the gear and the chain is all on the cassette. Then again, the little nut on the drive side, keep hold of that, tightening your QR clockwise like so. What you'll find is you'll get so far and you want to then just keep checking your lever to see how tight you've got with it. You want to find that it'll start getting harder to fasten halfway through, so you'll feel a bit of resistance halfway through. You then want to once you've found that, just fully close it over. But as you can see there, I've got it in line with the frame. What you'll find now is that it will be difficult to undo the QR next time you want to get your wheel out. So what we'll do is we'll undo it like so. What we'll do is we'll relocate the QR into the correct place. So again, keeping a hold of the drive side little nut, finding it resistance halfway, which is like so. With your full hand, close it right over like so. So that is out of the way of the frame, so you can easily get your hand underneath there to open it again. What you need to do now, before we flip the bike back over, is you'll need to give the pedal it a few times so your gears will all go back into sync, and if your chain is in the wrong gear, it will go back into the gear that you selected earlier, which if you pedal it so. That is all fine there for us. Unfortunately, with the brake being reattached, we can't use that, so just be careful with using your hands to slow your wheel down on there. Make sure you don't get your fingers caught in any of the spokes or anything like that. Once you've done that, we'll then want to flip the bike back over, which is like so. If you want to grab the seat tube and a part of the fork or the top of the frame, flipping it back over, you then upright. Then if you stand the back wheel in between your legs, and you will see the V-brake is in front of you. We then want to close over the brake like so, moving the little rubber boot seal out the way, locating the the brake noodle into its little holder, making sure that that is all fitted in correctly. It's not all wedged on it or anything like that, it's all in correctly. Press your brake just to make sure it's all working correctly, which it is so. Get on your bike and go and finish the rest of the tray. Cheers!